You guys loved my last keto menu video where I showed you guys what I feed my family of 4 for the week, that I had to show you guys another one. And if you want to see more videos like this, I'll have a playlist listed down below in the description box. This week's menu, again, I have 3 recipes to highlight. I'm going to make up a bunch of pork loins, so 2 large loins that I'm going to roast in the oven. And then the leftovers, we'll have that for 2 nights. And then the leftovers, we're going to make a pork and rice dish. And this is keto rice. I'll show you my favorite brand when we get to that section. And then for our last dish, we are making some keto sesame chicken. Up first, I'm going to be roasting a pork loin, and I like to get these from Costco because you can get them in a 3-pack, so I'll make up like 2 or 3 of them. After you've pat down your pork loin, we're going to season it with some salt. This is 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, a teaspoon of paprika, and ground mustard, and a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. Mix your seasoning together, and then we're just going to rub it all over our pork loin on both sides. Then we bake this in a 375-degree oven until the internal temperature reaches 140 degrees, which is about 60 minutes. While my pork loin is cooking in the oven, I like to nibble on a little snack because who doesn't snack while they're eating dinner? And I like to choose something that has protein and is healthy. And one of my main things I reach for is a Chomps beef stick. Chomps are packed with protein, there's 0 sugar, and they're made from grass-fed, grass-finished beef. Even my kids love these, and I find that they actually reach for these rather than something else like crackers. Head over to their website, chomps.com, and you can look at all the different varieties that they have. And right now, for the month of October, you can get 20% off your order when you use my code KetoFocus20, and I'll have that down below in the description box. A big thanks to Chomps for sponsoring this video and giving me something to nibble on while I make dinner. My pork is done baking in the oven, and you want to let it rest several minutes before carving into it. I'm going to serve this with a salad, and then tomorrow night I'm probably going to make up some mashed cauliflower and then some broccoli, because I'm going to use broccoli in a different recipe later on in the week. But this pork turns out so juicy. It is so good right out of the oven, perfect for Sunday supper. Since I made up 2 of these pork loins, it makes a lot of pork. So I have some left over even after 2 meals. So with that little bit of pork left over, I'm gonna be making a stir fry with it. So first I'm just gonna dice up 1/2 of an onion, and then I'm just gonna use whatever leftover vegetables I have in my fridge. So I had a 1/2 of a bell pepper and then some mushrooms left over. And we're just gonna throw everything into the skillet along with our diced up pork, and then a secret ingredient, and then some keto rice. Making meals like this totally reminds me of my childhood, because this is how my mom would cook. She would take whatever leftover protein we have, mix it in with some vegetables, add some seasoning. A lot of times it was like cream of mushroom soup or cream of chicken soup or something like that, and make some delicious meals. First, I'm just gonna saute up those leftover vegetables until they're softened. And you can use whatever you have on hand, whether that's zucchini, cauliflower, broccoli. And then add in your leftover pork. Now this is actually something you could do with leftover chicken too. Even ground beef would be delicious. Once my pork is heated through, I'm going to add in some seasonings. I'm just adding in garlic powder and a little bit of onion powder. And now here's my secret ingredient. You remember how I told you that my mom always used canned cream of mushroom soup? Well, there's a keto version out there, and I'm gonna use it for this recipe today. I'll have it linked down below in the description box, but I'm just using half of the carton. This will provide a ton of flavor plus make it creamy. Once you have that sauce heated through and you want to make sure the liquid kind of reduces a little bit, we're going to add in our keto rice, and I'll have it listed down below the brand that I like to use, but I'm just going to use 1 full pouch. This is made out of hearts of palm noodles, so it's very, very low in carbs, plus it tastes really good and kind of has a similar flavor to rice. We're going to mix that all together until it's heated, and I'm going to sample it and then season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. And that's it, dinner's done. This is one meal that comes together in definitely less than a half an hour. I really think it probably took me like 15 minutes to make. And I love meals like this. Just throw everything in there and they end up tasting so good. Next up on my keto menu plan, I'm going to be making something from somebody else's website. This is from Butter Together Kitchen, and she has a tasty keto sesame chicken recipe. She says this is the perfect alternative to takeout, and it takes you around a half hour to make. We first start by slicing up some chicken thighs. She says to use breast, but I'm using thighs. And we're going to cut them up into bite-sized chunks. Next, I'm going to season both sides with a little bit of salt and pepper. And then add that to a Ziploc bag, or you can use a mixing bowl, and sprinkle in a half a tablespoon of xanthan gum. I think she uses the xanthan gum as a thickener. Some other alternatives that you could use in case you didn't want to use the xanthan gum, because yeah, it can make your dish a little slimy. You could probably get away with using a couple tablespoons of arrowroot powder or a half a tablespoon of coconut flour. After we've given our chicken a good toss, we're going to add it to a skillet, and we're going to cook this over medium-high heat. I've added a tablespoon of oil, this is avocado oil in here, as well as a teaspoon of sesame oil into the skillet. And working in batches, you want to cook your chicken until it is fried on each side. You don't want to overcrowd your skillet because otherwise you're going to get steaming rather than that perfect sear on the outside. Another reason why I think she might have used xanthan gum, and she probably explains this in the recipe, but I didn't read it, it was probably because it helps create this crispy coat on the outside too. Once our chicken is cooked through, we're going to remove it all from the skillet, and then it's time to make our sauce. So in a small bowl, we're going to add 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, or you can use liquid aminos or coconut aminos, 2 tablespoons of a golden sugar-free sweetener of your choice, 2 teaspoons of ginger paste, 2 teaspoons of minced garlic, or I'm using garlic paste in this case, and a teaspoon of sesame seed oil, and 1 tablespoon of white vinegar. I'm using rice wine vinegar. We're going to mix that together, and then we're going to add our chicken back into our skillet along with some steamed broccoli. So just quickly steamed up some broccoli, and then we're going to add that in there and then mix that in with our sauce. Top with sesame seeds. I'm using a combination of white sesame seeds and black ones. And that's it, dinner's done. This turned out really good.